Okay, this video is about how to do a map. So it's a mini map in 3D Game Maker here, Fake 3D Game Maker. And I was going to do pieces of a map where you collect parts of a map and it just comes up on the screen. And in my opinion, I already kind of did that already. You know, it's a flat map where you only see parts. You collect parts of the map throughout the game, and it's not really that great. You know what I'm saying? You don't know exactly where you're at, really exactly. I mean, it says you are here, like, you know, if you're in a amusement park or something. But I want to do a mini map where it tracks your every move. So I found a tutorial on YouTube that I'll share in the link. That pretty much showed me how to do the mini map throughout, through GameMaker 8.1. So this is the mini map, and I'm going to show you how it works. So you can see right there on the left hand side is a mini map, north, west, east, and south. And I'm the green triangle, and that blue box underneath me is the key. So that's what my object was in the game. The blue box was my key indicator. But you can, if you wanted to, you could make a new object and make it more creative looking for a key on the map. You can make the square more like a shape, like a key or something, or a monster or whatever. So the blue boxes there you see is the key. So I collect the key, and then the key in the map goes away. Now, I also added a monster in here, and so it's going to show the monster come up on the map too in just a minute, once I get through this area here. And see the red box there? That's the monster. So you know that you're coming up to some kind of monster before you even get up there completely, so you can get prepared. So that red box is the monster, and then you'll see him come. See, there he is. And he's coming toward me, and then I kill him, and then he's gone off the map. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And, okay. So, what I did was I made a new object, called it Object Projection, did a add event, went to draw, then went to the Control tab and got a coded sheet, and there we go. So this is it's drawing the map. This is what it's doing. So D3D set projection ORTHO and the coordinates. So I don't know, I'm not sure about all the code, if I'm saying it right, but I think this is talking about the measurements for your screen. Let me see. Settings. No, my settings are bigger, but I'm thinking, this is pretty much talking about, it's drawing the map on screen. So this is the coordinates. I think this is the coordinates where you want the map to be located at. And then this second piece of code is dealing with the alpha. How much background, that black background you saw, it's at 0.5. So you can make this lower. You can make this lower number to make it more transparent for that black backdrop where my icon was at. So you can change this number to less of a number, and I believe it's going to be more transparent. Then, the map itself is black. You can change that to any color you want. Whatever comes up on screen here, you can go into C underscore and then choose your colors here. I might go just change this to show you what happens. And then it's a circle map, and this is the dimensions of the map pretty much. And then you have it set to your player object, because my player is called object player, so I set it to that. And then this information right here, these two informations here are the stuff that you want to be shown on your map once you get close to it. So I think after 300 after, I think 300 feet, that's what it's saying here. After 300 feet, it's going to show the, so within 300 feet, it's going to show your image of your key. So my image, my key is cell key. So the image, the cell key is going to be right here. See, it's the cell key. And then you want to draw your sprint image. My sprint image was this information right here. So you go to your sprint and it's, I believe, this right here. Sprint ammo get 2. So it's gonna, I don't know why I used that one though. That one's, I don't think I should have used that image there. Cell key. Well, basically, I used the wrong image here because this goes for the ammo itself. The key box is a different sprint. I don't know where it's at the moment, but for some reason I use this box as the key. So that's what comes up on in the map, is that blue box. So the cell key is the actual object that pick up. Okay, so you want to have that in the X coordinates here. You want to have that in the Y coordinates here. Let me get this up all on the screen here. I'll put this in the code down below if you can't read all that. But like I said, this talks about the cell key. This is the cell key itself. It shows the image of the key when you pick it up. This is the sprint image. That sprint image is that blue box there I use to show up in the map when I come close to it. And like I said, this is when I hit like 300 feet or less than 300 feet, it's going to show up on a map. I think that's what it's talking about. Greater than or less than. I think that's greater than. So when you reach 300 feet or less than 300 feet, then it comes up on the map. And the same thing with the monster here. So the monster, you got the object. Let's see, the object monster hit. That's going to be. That's going to be this right here, this image right here, the square, this maroon color square. That's what I use for the monster to show up on the map. And then sprint image, sprint monster, which is going to be, I believe, one of these images here. I didn't use the right image. I think I'm trying to figure out. I just use this. I don't think it really matters. I mean, sprint monster. I don't know what one I used here. It should be like one of these images here. I don't know. I think I used. I don't know. I can't. I'm not sure. Right here. This is it. Right here. Yes. Sprint monster. So, apparently you have to have a sprint image in here, okay, and you have to have an object. So, object here, and object here, and the cell key and the sprint image is the same image. If it's the same image, but the code requires you to have 3 locations for object, and then 1 location for the sprint. And both the sprint and the object is the same image. That's what I'm trying to say. So the same thing here with the monster hit and the sprint monster. They're the same image. The object is named a certain name, and then you have a sprint named a certain name for the object. So that's what is happening here. And then you have the coordinates here that are going to state when it's going to come into the map when you move in that direction. And then you have your player object here, which is going to be centered in the middle of the map, I believe, and then you have a color, but that color is not going to be white because I have an image in place of that, and that's going to be up here. It's called Sprint Player Map. It's this triangle here, and it's set, the coordinates are set here, X and Y. So it's that green triangle that's going to pop up. So that's what that sprint image is. Object players, it's going to be stuck on my object player wherever I move, the direction, and the coordinates, and then the alpha and the sprint map. The sprint map is going to be this image right here of the sprint map, and I have a coordinate X and Y set up here, so it's going to be lined up with the alpha circle that I talked about just in the beginning, how dark this alpha is going to be. So the code is set up where it's going to be a round alpha black image, and then this image is on top of it, and this is the coordinates. So if you don't have these coordinates for X and Y, it's going to be off. This is going to be off, and then you're going to see the black alpha circle at the bottom or the top or whatever. So you got to make sure this lines up with the alpha circle, which is drawn on the screen. So this is the alpha. This right here is the circle that's drawn on the screen, all this information here. And then this right here is talking about the image itself, talking about the north, west, south, and east coordinate image, which is going to be placed on top of this drawn alpha circle, which shows your character in the middle. And make sure you have the depth at minus 1,000, and you put it in the room. Put that question mark in the room, and it's this right here, this question mark here, that's in the room. That's going to project that map. So like I said, if you want to add more bad guys to this, you can. You basically just copy this code. Just copy this whole code. Both these codes are the same except for the objects and the sprints, of course. So copy this one strand of code here, paste it again, and then change out your objects and your sprint images to have more items show up on the map. You could have your weapons show up on the map. You can have your health show up on the map. You can have just the monsters show up on the map. So that's what you can do. I don't know about the walls and all that stuff. I tried the wall, put the walls in there and all that stuff. So you're looking at it at a bird's eye view, but it didn't seem to work that well. So the map pretty much does well with showing your monsters in the room and your health, but I wouldn't put like your walls, like looking at it at a bird's eye view, you're seeing your whole map. I wouldn't do that because it doesn't seem to work that well with the walls. It works well with just putting your items in the map view, which would be whatever you come up to, which would be like your ammo and your health and the keys and your monsters. Or you can just do monsters or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to put up there. So you gotta copy this code and do each line of code. So you gotta copy and paste. So every object you want to show up in the map, you have to copy this whole strand of code here and paste it down there and put it in there. So this whole strand if statement up to the parentheses here, you have to copy and paste. And each strand of code here, you have to put your own object in and your own sprint image in for that particular object, whether it be your ammo, your health, or a monster, or a key or whatever. Each strand has to have its own. Each strand code has to have its own object and sprint. So that's how you do the mini map. And I will link it to another video that I watched to know how to do it. I did have this B and A in here, which they talked about in the tutorial, but I replaced that B and A with the key and the monster, because that's what it was in the tutorial. The tutorial was talking about the B and A, and when you get to a certain point, it shows up in the game, in the map. So I replaced the B&A with the monster and the key. And that's it. Thanks for watching.